Happy Monday and good morning. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mackenzie Lake here with a look at our full Monday forecast. We're tracking a couple things, dense fog being at the very top of the list here, but then as we head into our extended forecast, multiple series of atmospheric rivers dropping down to the central coast here. We're going to be on the tail end of each and every system. First, I want to talk about visibility problems. So take a look here. Dangerous driving conditions in Santa Maria and in Oxnard. We're down to below a quarter of a mile, and keep in mind as you're traveling along the 101, you'll likely run into pockets of clear skies, but then pockets of very dense fog here, and that's why the National Weather Service has issued a dense fog advisory. This will be allowed to drop off by 10 o'clock in the morning, but even interior portions of Santa Maria, Santa Ynez, will see those visibility rates dropping down to a quarter of a mile or less. So low beams are imperative this morning. We're even seeing a little bit of misting and drizzle from the marine layer. Not expecting any measurable amounts of rainfall today, but as we head into our Tuesday and Wednesday, take a look at those rainfall numbers. We're jumping up to a 70% chance by 10 o'clock in the morning here in Santa Barbara, all the way up to 90% by about 6 p.m. So now we're going to map things out here to look at which areas will have the most amount of rainfall and what, again, that timing and those impacts are looking like. So take a look at satellite and radar. Currently, we have this very impressive low pressure system that's going to be pushing a lot of that moisture further and further into Northern California. We have high pressure that's still blocking us today, but that pressure system, high pressure, is going to be dropping off as we head into our Tuesday, and take a look at how those storms begin to track further and further to the south. So I think the first timing of rainfall looks to be about 10 o'clock in the morning here in Santa Barbara, a little earlier for our northern communities, those areas north of Point Conception. But you can see here as those showers continue to develop and they continue to move further and further to the south that, again, we're going to be upwards of 90% chances of showers into the overnight hours, and I think the heaviest amount of rainfall Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So if you are traveling early in the morning, you'll likely run into those wet and slick conditions. We also will be seeing some areas of low-lying clouds and fog. And then take a look here. A little bit of a break in some of this active weather before our next system brews up here. 8:30 Wednesday, take a look at our next system. That's going to be a second atmospheric river. Main impacts up in Northern California, but again, this system is going to be allowed to drop down further to the south. So Thursday and Friday, that's our next time period of rainfall, and it's going to be a pretty wet and potent system here. So these are impressive rainfall numbers. I think this is a little bit of an under projection up in Morro Bay, up in Cambria. It's very likely that over the next 4 days, from Tuesday all the way through about Thursday, we'll see upwards of 1.5 inches up in Morro Bay and Cambria, closer to that inch mark in San Luis Obispo. And then I do think we're going to see about 3/4 of an inch here in Santa Barbara, with that 1/2 inch mark, maybe closer to 1/4 inch mark down in Ventura County. Again, rainfall not super impressive, but definitely needed for the central coast here. It is going to be light to moderate at times heading into that Thursday time frame. That second storm system looking to be a little bit lighter. It'll just be some widespread pulses of rainfall here. No thunderstorm development. Impacts a little bit just more moderate here. Maybe driving impacts would be at the very top of that list. But take a look at temperatures throughout the entire central coast here. 50s in Cambria and Morro Bay, 62 there in San Luis Obispo, 61 up in Paso Robles, and then overnight lows will have a lot of those low-level clouds trapping in the heat, so we'll drop down into the 40s. So make sure to travel safely early this morning and get out those umbrellas for the rest of the work week.